What's going on, YouTube peeps and barbecue freaks? Thank you guys for joining me today. Today I'm gonna do some shish kebabs. A couple of you have suggested this, and I think it's gonna be a great recipe. So I'm gonna knock it out. I'm gonna do them two ways. One is gonna be with chicken, and the other is going to be with steak. So chicken and beef. I think these are gonna come out great. Let's get started. All right. So the first thing we're gonna do is take this. I got a ribeye here. This is a little over a pound, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim off this fat. I want to try to remove that. And any other fat that I can see, I'm gonna try to make sure we get all that off. Just a little bit there, and just a little bit on this side here, just on the outside. And then I'm going to take this and we're going to cut it right down the middle. Turn it sideways and just cut it into chunks. How about a inch or so, just big enough to fit on the skewer. Now I am going to make a marinade for the steak and for the chicken, and in an effort to save some time, I'm going to pre-make them. But I will make sure to tell you what's in them and to leave the ingredient list down in the description below. So, and actually for the steak, I'm going really simple. I was going to make up my own marinade, but you know, I was at the store and I found this. And I said, what the heck? So this is a marinade that I'm gonna use for the steak. And we're simply gonna just follow the instructions on the back, get this marinated, and let this steak marinate for about an hour. So let me get this made up and we'll get this in a bowl. All right, so what I have here in this bowl is a 1/4 cup of oil, a 1/4 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, and then we're just gonna add this Montreal steak seasoning package. Gonna give this a mix. Now, I never tried this Montreal steak seasoning marinade, so quite honestly, I don't know how it's gonna taste, but I have used their rubs before, and I'm a fan of them, so I'm gonna assume that this isn't gonna be too bad. Let's give it a... Okay, not bad. So next we're just going to take this steak, dump it right in here. Actually, now I'm just going to leave it in here. I was going to put it in a plastic bag, but I think this will be fine. I'm going to put a little cover over this and place this in the refrigerator for, we're going to let it go for about, probably about an hour, hour and a half. And then we'll check on it. I am gonna stir it around, you know, every 30 minutes or so while it's in there, 20-30 minutes. And let's move on to the chicken. For the chicken, I'm using boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I want to make sure I say that correct, because in the past I've called thighs breasts, and man, you chicken police, definitely make sure that I know about it. I'm just gonna trim off any of the loose fat or excess fat from this. And then I'm just going to take this and dice it up into nice bite-sized chunks. So I'll just take this and well, let's cut off this loose skin because I have enough. Just gonna cut this right in half that way, and actually I think I'm gonna leave that the way that is. Cut this bottom part off, and then I'll just, when I put them on the skewer, I'll just kind of fold it up. So just in good sized chunks. Do the same with this. Well, let's go here and here. That'd be a nice little chunk. That'd be a good little chunk. And this would be a good little chunk. So I'm gonna do this to the rest of them, and then I'll pick back up once we start making the marinade. All right, what I have here is the marinade for the chicken. I already pre-made it. Again, I will leave all the ingredients and the measurements in the description box below. Just hit the show more and you'll find them in there. But what's in here is I've got some balsamic vinegar, some honey, some whole grain mustard, salt, pepper, and minced garlic. Give that a good mix. And then we're going to add our chicken to this. Take our chicken, dump it right in there. I have used this marinade before, actually fairly recently. I'm telling you, that marinade is a really good marinade. If you're looking for one for chicken, a balsamic marinade, man, this stuff is good. So just like the beef, we're going to throw it in the fridge and let it sit for the same amount of time, you know, an hour and a half or hour to hour and a half. And then every 20-30 minutes, I'll just go in there and shake both of them up a little bit, give them a good stir. And while these are marinating, we'll get to cut the veggies. All right, so the veggies that we're going to use for these kebabs are, we're going to use a red bell pepper, a couple of green bell peppers, red onion, and some mushrooms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these these four items here chopped up, and then I'll pick back up and show you how we're going to season these. All right, so I got the vegetables chopped up, got it in a bowl here, and what I'm going to do is add, actually these are the mushrooms. I need to add the rest of the vegetables. Right in there. So you have your onion, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and mushrooms. So I'm going to take a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Just give it a nice coating. Let's get in here, get your hands dirty. Let's get our hands dirty, y'all. And I'm actually going to season this with It's Incredible. Bam. This stuff is great on vegetables. So it's great on everything, actually. But I think it's going to go excellent with these vegetables here. So I just want to make sure that I get these all tossed up and coated. Get it all mixed up. And while I was prepping all this, or before I started prepping all this, what I did is I took some wooden skewers, and I'll show you what they look like here in just a second. These here, these wooden skewers. And I put them in some water, let them soak in some water. You want to make sure that you do that if you're going to use the wooden ones. I thought I had metal ones, I just can't find them, so I got to run with these. But you want to make sure you soak them in water so they don't burn up. So just make sure this is coated up really good. And then we'll get the meat out of the fridge. Actually, I'm gonna let this sit for a minute while I go get my fire started. I'm gonna cook these on my Weber kettle, and I'm simply gonna make a bed of coals on the bottom grate and place these right on top. I won't be using my Smokinator or my Weber charcoal baskets. We're gonna go straight to the grate with these. So let's let these sit and get that fire going. All right, so the first thing we're going to start with, I told you we're going to do them two ways, one with chicken and one with beef. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start making these skewers with the beef. And I'm going to double it up here. So what I'm going to do is take a mushroom. Actually, let's go this way. And we'll get this other one in here. And when you double it up like this, it's going to really help it to keep it from constantly rolling over. So we got a mushroom. I'm going to go some red onion here. Get that on there. And then I'm going to take a piece of meat. And put that on there. So this is kind of what it's going to look like here. I'll have a mushroom, onion, beef. Mushroom, onion, beef. And I'm going to do two of them just like this. Let's go ahead and add one more while we're at it. Another mushroom, some red onion. And a piece of beef. Shut up, dog. Just like that. So I'm gonna get the rest of these finished up, or the rest of these made up, and I'll pick back up once we're done. All right, the beef shish kebabs are done. Just what they look like here. So we're gonna set these aside and move on to the chicken kebabs. All right, for the chicken kebabs, we're gonna use a red bell pepper and green bell pepper. So I got my skewers here. Stand those up. Take some red bell pepper. Right through there. Get you some green bell pepper. Right through there. We're going to take a piece of this chicken. Let me get this through here. There you go. Right through there. So we're going to go with red bell pepper. I'm sorry, yeah, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, chicken. And we're just going to repeat the process until they're all done. Got some red, And take some green. Take a piece of chicken. Tell you what, that marinade, man, it smells amazing. Get that chicken in here. And that's it. So I'm going to finish both of these up and then I'll pick back up. All right, the chicken kebabs are done. This is what they look like. Red, green chicken, red, green chicken. So we're going to take both of these. Oh, let's not put it on the same. Get rid of this here. So we're going to take these kebabs, get your beef down here and your chicken up here, all right, and get them on the Weber. All right, so this is how I have my Weber set up. I just put some charcoal. This is one chimney full of charcoal that I lit and just spread out on the bottom of this. And I'm going to close the vents on this. The bottom vents I just closed completely down. It's probably still going to flare up pretty good, but I want to let this die down just a little bit because right now this is still way too hot. So I just dumped them and we'll let them burn for about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll get the kebabs out here. All right, so I put the lid on it, let that fire die down some, and what we're going to do is take these kebabs here. We're going to take this off. This fire is going to flare up again, so you want to make sure that you do not leave these unattended because they will burn. And that is a hot fire, so I'm going to put on a glove. Just going to move these over a little bit. So we're going to just watch these, and I'm going to flip them about every minute or so just so one side doesn't burn too much. And then once they get done, we'll bring them inside. I don't reckon they're going to take too long to cook. So, actually, you know what? I'm going to put the lid on, let they go for 1 minute, and then I'll pick back up. Let's give them a flip or rotate. Oh, this smells good. Look at that browning. That browning looks good. Yeah, buddy. That chicken is looking good already. So that's what they look like. Again, we're going to get the lid on. Another minute. And I'll come back. And I'm just going to repeat the process until it's done. And I'll pick back up once we get inside. Alright, so the kebabs are done. These are the chicken kebabs. These two here. Like that. Looks good. And then these two here are the beef kebabs. So you have your mushroom, onion, beef, mushroom, onion, beef. So these look good too. So I can't wait to, I did take a little bite off the edge here. That thing is tender. And then these last two here, that was just the leftover beef that I had, the ribeye, and the leftover chicken. I didn't use any vegetables or anything. I just wanted to cook them so they wouldn't go to waste. So I just put them on one skewer, just all meat by itself. So this is what they look like. I'm gonna take these off with the skewers, get them on a plate, and we'll give them a taste test. All right, so I just took them off the skewers, just put them on a plate, nothing fancy. There's your chicken, there's your beef. We're gonna give each one of them a try and see how they taste. All right, so this one is the beef with onion and mushroom. Let's give it a taste. That marinade on that beef, wow. Then it's incredible on the vegetables. You already know that's good. That beef one is excellent. That beef one was, it was awesome. It was really, really good. So now we're gonna try the chicken. So this is a chicken with the red bell pepper and green bell pepper. I'm telling you, that chicken marinade, you need to try that one. Oh man. Out of both of those, that beef one is definitely my favorite. But both kebabs are excellent. Both marinades that are used for each meat, definitely got to try. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys next time. Take care.